Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angel and today I'll be sharing some more budget-friendly DIYs. Before we get started, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and click that little notification bell so that you won't miss out on any of my future videos. For this first project, I'm going to be using this little house that I found at Dollar Tree. And you can see here the paper started peeling up on the front, so I just went ahead and ripped that off. And then I did go ahead and remove that little wood piece. Then I'm going to flip that over and give it 2 coats of my white Waverly chalk paint. Now for this project, I'm also going to be using one of these 8-inch chunky slats from Dollar Tree. And you can see here, I'm just marking it because I want it to fit on the bottom of the house. So I am going to cut that down with my little hand miter saw that I have. I picked that up at Amazon and it is in the description box below if you are interested. But I went ahead and painted that white as well. And to attach that little chunky slat to my house, I'm just using some of Dollar Tree's wood glue. I'm also going to be using some of these wood beads that I got from Amazon. Now, I do find that it's just cheaper and you get a ton of beads for the price off of Amazon, but you can, of course, get these from a craft store. But I'm going to go ahead and use some more of that Dollar Tree wood glue, and I'm going to arrange my beads onto that wood slat. Dollar Tree has out some really pretty flowers right now. They're kind of dusted and muted colors. So I'm just going to be cutting off some of the stems and I'll place them down into those beads. And here is how it turned out. For the next project, we're going to be using 2 of these larger wood pieces from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be taking some of my Waverly Antique Wax with a wet paper towel, and I'm going to stain these boards. I think this is my new favorite trick to kind of stain the wood pieces. This just makes it so much easier. You can use a baby wipe, wet paper towel, wet cloth, anything you have, and it just makes it so easy to stain the wood. Now, I'm sure you've seen many of my projects using Dollar Tree canvases, but when I do remove the canvases from the frames and just use the frames for projects, I always keep the canvases for a project that I'm going to do in the future. So I had these canvases left over and I'm going to be cutting these down to use these on the board. Once I had them cut down to the size that I kind of wanted, you can see here I'm just going to fray all of those edges on my canvas. I'm just making a small little cut at the end and then I'm just going to rip those canvases down each side. Now, I saw on Pinterest these really pretty pencil drawings of plants, and I thought it was super cute and it looked kind of rustic and vintage, so I wanted to kind of do that with these canvases. So I am just hand drawing out some little plants, and once I had the shape that I wanted, I went back in and traced over it a little darker with my pencil. But I am just going to leave the pencil drawings, and then I'm going to take some of these little tacks from Dollar Tree. Now these were the silver ones, but I went ahead and painted them with some of my antique gold paint, and I'm just going to add these thumbtacks to just add a little detail. I also wanted to say, if you're not comfortable hand drawing, you could always just use a Dollar Tree stencil to make these little plants. I know that they do have some little palm leaf plant stencils out right now that would be perfect for this. And here's a look at how they turned out. For this next project, I'll be using some of these little palm leaf hangers that I got at Dollar Tree. I think they are super cute just the way they are, but I did want to just update them a little bit and change 2 of them. On the 2 that I am changing, I'm just going to remove those little hangers. They pop out really easily, and then I'm just going to keep these hangers in case I want to use them for a future project. I did like the 2-tone colors of these, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that on the little palm leaves, but I'm going to use some of Dollar Tree's painter's tape, and I'm going to tape these off because I want to stain the top part again using just a wet paper towel and some of my antique Waverly wax. Now you might see when I pull the tape off, I didn't actually use the lines that were already on these palm leaves. I kind of just made my own paint lines. You can see here I didn't paint some of the wood or stain it, but I am going to go back once that's dry, and I taped it again so that I could paint the bottom of it with some of my white chalk paint. Now while those are drying, I'm going to grab some of this air dry clay. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know I love this stuff. I get this at Walmart. It's about $7 for 2 pounds of it, and it just lasts forever. You can do so many projects. To roll this out, I couldn't find my roller, so I ended up using one of Dollar Tree's sponge brush little end pieces, and that's what I'm using to roll this out. I am just rolling this out pretty thin too. It doesn't need to be very thick, and actually you kind of want it to be a little thin. You can see here about how thin I did it because we are going to be making like little vases to put onto those palm leaves. Once I had it all rolled out, I went ahead and took just a plastic butter knife and cut that down into a rectangle. This part is completely optional, but I just wanted to give it a little extra detail. So I'm just using my little stamp. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby maybe. But once I stamped it, then I'm just going to take a paint bottle and I'm going to lay this on top of there to shape it. And then with the second piece, I just repeated the process over again. I think I ended up letting these dry for a few hours. I didn't want them to get completely hard because here I am going to shape them just a little bit more. But as you can see, I'm using some of Dollar Tree's gel super glue to attach these. I just put it right on the sides of the clay, and as I am putting it on there, I am pressing those side edges down and just kind of making a cone part in the center. Then again, I am going to do the exact same thing with the second one. Once I had these glued down and shaped the way I wanted them, I let them dry completely, and then all I had to do was just add some more of those Dollar Tree picks down into these, and here's how they turned out. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.